ma'am. So this is my activity, which is the recent activity that we had. So first we have here the output, which is this. We have here the registration form. We have here the navigation bar, which is we have home and register. And then this is the form for registration. We have here two buttons, which is the submit and the receipt. And then here we have in our form, we have two options for the courses, which is BSIT or BSES. So let's try to fill out this. And let's try to leave one form blank. Submit. So there will be an alert that it says here that the contact number is required. So we need to fill the contact number. And then if you try to press the receipt button, it should allow us to retype or put our desired name, email, contact number, course, and password. So yeah, that's it. That's it for the output. And we also have here the footer. So let's go to the terminal. So basically the terminal, I just run the code npm run dev. So let's try to open. So before I got to this output, first I set up an app. I created an app. So that's it. That's it for the terminal. And then let's go to the code. So as you can see here, we have four components, which is the button, footer, navigation bar, and the registration form. We have here the button, function button, which is the text, type, and on-click button, which is the type, the on-click, the class name is button, and then here is the text. If what do you want to call the button? For example, we have here to our output, we have there submit and reset. For the footer, this one, we have here the 2026 registration app. The name of the function is footer. So export default footer. Then after that, you have here the navigation bar. Of course, this one we have here the registration, the header, which is located at the upper left part at the output. And then we have here the home and the register for the navigation bar, which is located at the upper right. Next is the registration form. Import use state from React, and also we imported here the buttons because in this form we will be able to see those two buttons, which is the submit and the reset. So we have your function registration form, const name, set name, email, set email, contact, set contact, use state, I mean, and then set course and then set password. So we have here function submit form event, which is it allows us to submit submit the forms that we have turned. So we have here the alerts. So this, if you forgot to fill the name, the email, the contact number, the course, and also the password. And if ever you successfully input those forms, it will show an alert that you have registered successfully. So from those function, reset form, in the reset form, we have here the name, email, contact, course, and password in order for you to start over again to fill out the form. So you have here return, class name, form container, the header again, registration form. So form on submit, it allows us to submit the forms, the fill outed forms with that has our name, the email, set email, and then the contact, the courses. So of course, in our courses we have two options, which is the BSIT and the BSES. And here's the password for for the protection of your registration. And then here is the two buttons, which is the submit button and also the reset button, reset form, and then export default registration form. So in our CSS, we have here the general style for our for our app, and then we have here the HTML body, and then the margin height, then the font, which is the Arial and the sans serif, the app, so display, flex, which means it is already centered or aligned, flex direction, minimum height, and then the navigation bar, display, justify, align items, then the background and also the color, and then the padding, navigation header bar 2, navigation bar again, and for the form container, which is the form container from our registration, we have here the display, flex, flex direction, the align item, justify content, the gap of the form, the maximum width, the margin, and then the flex. Form container input and form container select, which is the where we will able to input the forms, for example, our name, email, and the select for our course, which is we have two options, which is the BSIT and the BSES. So we have here the button, and then the footer, and then this one here is for our responsiveness of our app. So the last file, which is we imported those components here at the app JSX, which is import navigation bar, registration form, and then the footer. The reason why the button is not here because we imported the button here at the registration form. So we have here function app, which is the whole app. So return the class name app. So that's why we only fetch we just call the components or the file, which is the navigation bar, which is this, and then we have the registration form and also lastly the footer, and then export default app. So in my system, I have here, so I will show you if my system is responsive. So let's try to uh make it smaller, like a phone base. So as you can see, the forms have adjusted the navigation bar here, also adjusted. So yeah, that's it for my activity, ma'am. Thank you.